as I said before, we had a little microphone difficulty to start there, but as I said before, welcome to the 2014 Coronation ceremony for our homecoming week here at Oak Grove. As you see your homecoming court in front of you here, they're already seated. And I'll just introduce myself first. I'll be your master of ceremonies for the night. I'm Nick Wright. Most of you know me. I'm the social studies teacher here at Oak Grove. If your students have been in U.S. history, economics, AP psychology, government, pretty much any social studies, they probably had me. Help out with the football program and the track programs this school year, student council, and helping out with the master of ceremonies also today. So that's what I'll be doing for you today. I think what we're going to be doing here is going to be a little bit interesting. I will first introduce our old king and queen. Our old queen is here, Raina Bergstrom. She is seated. The old one, yes. And our second one will be a little bit more interesting, as you see, is not here. He's here in spirit. He told me he is a soul seeking the light of the world and could not be with us as he ventures on that journey, his words. So, open throne if anybody wants to sit down there, I guess. So the entire court, I'm going to just reintroduce them to you here really quickly. From side to side here, we have Rachel Phelps, Abby Sharp, can't see who's next to her, Mariah Kinenberger, Kirsten Bolkinski, and Anna Cordes. On the other side is Isaac Olson, Peter Boydie, Ryan Iworks, Christian Adams, and Carter Kretschmer. And then our junior royalty is going to be Remy Johnson and Bjorn Iyer. We'll be starting off with a short devotion, so I'll introduce Sam Arnson to come up and provide us with that.
Let me start off by reading the homecoming verse for this year. Our homecoming verse comes from 1 Timothy chapter 6, verses 18 and 19. Instruct them to do good works, to be generous and ready to share, storing up for themselves the treasures of a good foundation for the future, so that they may take hold of that which is life indeed. And this verse really encompasses the homecoming experience because it talks about the foundation. And Oak Grove's foundation is really its students, old and new, past and present. This foundation creates the wonderful and unique atmosphere that is Oak Grove, a place we are all blessed to be able to call home, now, 10, 20, and 30 years from now. Please pray with me. Dear Lord, thank you for giving us a wonderful place like Oak Grove where we can grow and flourish. Oak Grove is a home to many, and these excellent people leave an impression on those who come after for years to come. We thank you for Oak Grove, but more importantly, the students that make it up. Amen.
Thank you, Sam. For our next speaker, we're going to have a little bit of introduction for him. He has been asked by the students to speak at this, which I think most teachers see as quite the honor to have. But for our coronation address speaker, it's a teacher that's been at this school for many, many years. I believe he spoke last year also, and if you were here for that, there were some jokes made about him before he was brought up here. They all pertain to him being very old. So I thought that'd be inappropriate to do that, to stand up here and say jokes like that he has been here since 1906. It was maybe a little untruthful when you think about it, since male students have only been here since 1926. That couldn't be possible. He did serve as the first homecoming king in 1926. But other things like Mrs. Forrest would stand up here and talk about how Mr. Linkseth's room is above her classroom. And anytime they hear a thump or a desk, she always yells, "Linkseth down." She'd stand up here and say something like that. But I can say about Mr. Linkseth that he's a great math teacher. Thank God for us. I golfed with him this weekend, and his math teaching skills are much better than his golf skills. Take that as well. But no, on a serious note though, Mr. Linkseth, I got to spend the weekend with him and golfing and going to a Vikings game. Golf didn't go too well, and if you saw the Vikings game, also didn't. But it was a great weekend, nonetheless. And I got to know Mr. Langstaff beyond just being a student in his classroom, which I was 7 years ago when I became a teacher. This guy really cares about people. You can hear the story he tells and the passion that he tells them with. And when he starts telling stories about the current students we have here, former students, some of you probably in here, you know that. Anytime he spoke at chapel. So I'm very excited to hear what he has to say about this group of students here today, because you know it will be sincere and very heartfelt from Mr. Langstaff. So I'd like to call you up here for Coronation.
First thing, Raina, I would never call you the old queen. I'm a little sensitive about that old stuff. It's nice to see you all here tonight. Thanks, Nick, for your introduction. And don't talk about my game. Just say it. It sucks. Anyway, welcome to all of you. To the royalty, to parents, to seniors, to any alumni that are here, to family and friends. I would especially like to thank the senior class for asking me to be the speaker this evening. It's truly an honor and a privilege for me to address you at the beginning of this special week. The seniors who asked me to speak this evening were apparently expecting me to do a roast of some type. In fact, they sounded kind of pumped up at the idea that I would be roasting them and their friends a little bit. So my initial reaction was, that's awesome! I get to make fun of the students and they actually asked me to do it. Usually I just do it because it's fun. That was kind of dumb on their part, but I was really jacked up about this possibility. So I began thinking of this group. In my mind, first thought about the guys. So I talked to some of the junior class. And through my experience with these guys, and between my junior class scouts, they were out working on digging some dirt about these gentlemen. But with the guys, digging the dirt was so easy. I had a scroll that I was going to roll out here at this time, full of the stuff that I found, but I just took a few of the highlights. There's a lot of stuff out there, parents, if you know where to look for it. There's some stuff on the internet, and just check it out. It's really pretty entertaining. But first, I found out that I really wanted to ask Mr. Roach if I could get the ice concession for the guys' basketball team this season. Between Isaac Carter and Christian throwing up so many threes, their arms are going to be falling off by the end of the year. And ice should be a good deal, so I could make a killing selling ice to them. There are many other interesting things that were uncovered about those three, but I'll stop here for now. For now. For now. Ryan Iwerks had some stuff in his background as well. It's always the quiet ones that you have to look out for. I started to think of Ryan as old what's-his-name after him getting upset with me the other day because I asked in class, who's the Ryan guy on the homecoming court? Because they just gave me a list of first names. And to be fair, he was very kind. And to be fair to the old guy, I've had about 30 Ryans in my classes over the years. So I was just getting up to the in this file to get to the proper Ryan. I was up to Ryan Albee at that time, who was, I think, the class of '98. So you saved me a lot of time, Ryan. I appreciate it. And then there's Peter Boydie. A lot of stuff to be said here. All the headshots he takes in hockey and some of those kinds of things. Sometimes I think he's wandering around and wonders where he's at. But, Peter is actually referred to by the staff as never on time for my first class Boydie. Peter apparently likes to spend quality time with Mr. Roach so much that he comes to his first class late almost every day, so that he can spend that detention time with his favorite principal in the office. So as I was kind of writing this, I was at this point feeling a little bit like I was on a roll. The guys were definitely easy pickings with all the stuff that was just kind of flowing at that point. My spies were digging. They were on the internet. They were out there texting, Skyping, and tweeting until their fingers bled. And this is what they came up with about the girls. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Weak stuff. Rachel Phelps once sang a wrong note. Once. Mariah did ask her math teacher if he had been to all 106 Oak Grove homecomings, which I thought was a little cheap. But that was all I could dig up on her. Anna Cordes was thought to be a little bit too smiley, according to the group. What kind of dirt is that? Now see, look at that smile. You never get too much of that smile. And speaking of smiles, Abby Sharp once forgot to smile at an underclassman in the hall. Once. And that was 3 years ago. What a mean girl. And then I got to Kirsten Bokinski, and my initial thought was, hey, I've known Bruce and Jean forever, and I know that there's lots of stuff that I could dig up for them, so there must be something under Kit. So I asked my spies, and they didn't find out a lot. This is what I got, is that she got a question wrong on a test once. She wasn't a National Merit finalist, somebody said, just a semifinalist, and then I informed them that the finalists haven't been chosen yet, so that's the best she can do at this point. And once in basketball, she knocked a girl down in the lane and didn't help her up right away. Ooh, she's such a meanie. So, where are all the mean girls that they make movies about? Come on, girls, you have to give me something to work with here. You're killing me. So, the guys got a reprieve, because you can thank the lovely, wonderful girls that are up around the stage for being so darn nice, because I can't torture you if I can't torture them too. That just wouldn't be fair. I'm an equal opportunity roaster. So, the rest of my address tonight won't be a roast of the court. It will be directed at all of the seniors. And with the other seniors who are here, please stand up and be recognized. Please. There are some great leaders up here on stage. But if you don't have to be in royalty or be a football captain or a volleyball captain or a madrigal singer or lead in a musical to be a leader at Oak Grove or to make a difference in people's lives. You can all be leaders. You can all be kind to everyone, because that's what Grovers do. You can be positive in your dealings with people both on and off campus. Very often, the only opinion of what Oak Grove is and who we are is what people see when you are off of our campus. You can be inclusive, not exclusive, because that's what Grovers do. You can all work hard to make every student here at Oak Grove feel like a special, needed part of this program, because that's what Grovers do. You can all show the underclassmen how hard seniors work to make Oak Grove a better place, rather than acting like the entitled seniors, because that's what Grover seniors do. This weekend, you can make the alumni who come back to our school feel welcome and special. They're Grovers too. Class of '69, right here. We all can make a difference. A few years ago, I was at a college basketball game, I think it was at Concordia, and that was quite a few years ago. It was like 4 years after I graduated from high school. And I ran into a former student, or actually she was a classmate, a couple years younger than me, and she told me a story that I wasn't even aware of. She was a new girl in the dorm, sophomore girl, and I was a senior. And my buddy, who was way nicer than I am, said, she's standing by herself in the lunch line for like the 5th straight day. Why don't we go over and have lunch with her? So we did, and went through the line, had her sit with us. A bunch of other people sat with us, and we had a nice lunch, and I didn't think of it again. We were not great friends. We knew each other, said hi and all, blah, 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 but it just was not that big a deal to me. But what she told me at that college basketball game was that particular day, was her second week of school here, and she had made no connections with anyone. And she had decided that that weekend she was going to go home because it was too hard to be in the dorm when she didn't know anybody, didn't have any friends. And that was kind of the end of the story. I didn't know about it. I had no idea. And all we did was be nice. And we made a difference in that person's life. That's what I'd like to challenge you guys to do. That was one of the best feelings I've ever had as she told me that story. Something that we did that I never even thought about, okay, that I didn't even remember, that made a huge difference in somebody else's life. Most of the time you won't even know that you make a difference. But when you consistently do the right thing, you will make a huge difference in the lives of people around you. I challenge us all, not just the royalty, not just the seniors, but all of us, to be difference makers. Not only here at Oak Grove, but in our lives away from here as well. I hope you have an awesome homecoming weekend, and thank you again for honoring me with the privilege of being your speaker this evening.
Thank you for that, Mark. Next up, Marley Holtz is going to provide us with some special music.
I feel just like a sailboat. I don't know where I'm headed. You can't make the winds
we're going to have our old king address our audience. We'll be doing it through Skype. So if he's available to us, I would like to introduce Jeffrey Lackman, last year's or current reigning king of Oak Grove.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, well, okay. I'm Skyping you from Ashland, Wisconsin. It's a beautiful small town. I am at Northern College, but enough about me. This is about the senior class. So I have a little bit to say to you. Senior year goes a little bit like this. You get to school, and all of a sudden you're the top dog, and that's really, really freaky. Because you've had so many years where you're looking up to upperclassmen, and all of a sudden you are the upperclassman, the upperclassman. And so it's really strange and really, really fun because all of a sudden you guys are all leaders. And you may not have been a leader before, but now you're a leader by default. And that's super exciting. And then semester break hits. And the novelty of senior year wears off. Yeah. Before the break, you're really determined to make senior year count. You are doing homework on time. You are studying for Mr. Langset's tests. These things are unheard of. And so, once the break is over, senior year takes a little bit of a dive. It happens to everybody, okay? Don't think it won't happen to you because it probably will. You will forget to do assignments, think, what's the point of doing this if I just have a couple months left? Believe me, it happens. Yeah, and it'll just keep going and going and going, and it'll be this endless cycle, and you think it won't end, and then bam! You're graduating. And you will have to say goodbye to some of the best friends you've ever had, and it will be really weird. And so, really cherish it, because Oak Grove is a place where you can do anything, try anything, in fact, really do everything, and everybody will support you. And that's really not something that happens in a lot of places. And so, stretch yourself, broaden your horizons, because there's no better place to do it than Oak Grove. And without further ado, I will announce to you the 2014 Homecoming King, and that is Ryan Iworks.
Acceptance speech, start with thank yous. Thank you to Jordan and Miss Thermos for getting all of this together. Mr. Roach for driving the van, taking us out to dinner. Homecoming week is really exciting, really busy. We have Powder Buff and Buff Buff tomorrow, volleyball game on Thursday, football game on Friday, variety show on Saturday, so lots of events to get to. So enjoy your week, have fun. Thank you.
Congratulations, Ryan, on that. I probably should have provided some noisemakers in the background for you, some sound beepers, just like in class, but that's okay. Next one I'd like to introduce is the very young Raina Bergstrom, the reigning homecoming queen of Oak Grove, and I believe she has some parting words for us.
Well, hello, Rovers. It's great to be back here. You know, it's kind of weird coming back a little bit. Like, it's like, it's like going to an old house or something. You know, it's like, oh, this is my life, like, only a couple months ago. Or it's good though. Like, it's like, this is my family, and it's great to be back. But, no, college is good. It's challenging, but it's fun. It's been a hard month in ways, but it's also been I've learned a lot this past month, and it's been good. It's been fun. A lot of highs, a lot of lows, but it's been good. And I'm glad I'm at Concordia. I'm enjoying it, besides the 4 parking tickets I've gotten. I like it. They really get on you, that parking service. Yeah, but no, it's good. I have excellent professors. I've made some wonderful friends. I have a great floor, great roommates. I'm very thankful to be there. And seniors, some words for you. Like Jeffrey said, it's gonna go so fast, so fast. Like before you know it, you're gonna be in college. And I just really encourage you to just make every moment count. Really, like do everything you can, talk to everybody you can. Don't waste it. And you guys will do great. You have a great class. I'm so proud of you. It's fun to see you guys all up here. And yeah, I just hope you have a great homecoming week, a great rest of your senior year. And now, if the ladies would all rise. Of course I dropped this. I only dropped my crown and my robe last year too, so it's only fitting that I dropped this as well. But your 2014 queen is Rachel Phelps.
Okay, have you seen that video of the little kid coming home from the dentist? And he's like, is this real life? That's exactly how I'm feeling right now. It is just such an honor. I was not expecting this at all. And I thank you all for choosing me to be your 14-15 queen. And I'd like to especially thank the Lord for sending me here, because I felt like He led me here, and that ever since I came here, I felt like this is where I belong, and this is where I was made to be. And I'd also like to thank my parents for always being there for me and for supporting me in everything that I do. And finally, I'd like to thank all of you for just being awesome and having a great impact on my life, and especially the senior class. I'm just really excited. And this week we have a lot of events going on. The variety show, I'm going to be singing at the variety show, so I encourage you all to come to that because it is a great show. And we have a lot of other events like the football game and the dance and everything. So, wow. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. Congratulations to both Ryan and Rachel, and I don't think we could have better representatives for Oak Grove in the 2015 senior class. And I think Rachel's right when she mentioned that this is where she belongs, and excited to have her represent us here at Oak Grove. So, next part of this program is what we're going to do is we're going to honor the kind of behind-the-scenes heroes for these kids, the parents. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to read off the names of our parents of our Royal Court, and I think they have a gift that they will be delivering to their parents. along the way. So for our first parents, we have Randy and Linda Phelps, parents of Rachel Phelps. Second Royal Court member we'll be introducing is Carter Kretschmann, son of Craig and Wendy Kretschmann. I'm just reading the words out of the sheet. So. I think that's hopefully we got the rest of them right here. If we don't, just go with it. Alright. Next we'll be introducing Anna Cortez, daughter of Matt and Rhea Cortez.
Yeah, Cortez!
Alright, I'll be introducing Ryan Iwerks, son of Randy and Wendy Iwerks. Abby Sharp, daughter of Shane and Jennifer Sharp. Peter Boydie, son of Dan and Michelle Boydie. Mariah Kennenberger, daughter of Lisa Kennenberger. Christian Adams, son of Jonathan and Geraldine Adams. Kirsten Bokinski, daughter of Bruce and Jean Bokinski. And finally, Isaac Olson, son of Ann and Roger Olson. All right, before we close the ceremony today, I just want to go through a few announcements. Ryan kind of stole my thunder going through what we have coming up this week a little bit, but just to kind of reiterate some of the different events going on at Oak Grove this weekend. It really is a great week for the students. Every year seems to get a little bit better. It's very enjoyable to work with them, but of course today we have Coronation, and following the Coronation Day we'll have the Royal Reception over in the Shield Center Auditorium. Tomorrow, kind of during the school day, we'll have the Buff Puff tournament going on, followed by the Powder Puff tournament at 7 p.m. that night. So if you want to see some good football action, volleyball action, come on over to school tomorrow. I've heard the referees for a little bit blind sometimes, but that's okay. Wednesday, currently no event scheduled for that, but on Thursday there will be our volleyball game versus Northern Cass in the Darwin Motor Gymnasium, so come and support the girls for that event if you can. And on Friday then, at 10 a.m. we'll have the homecoming chapel in Shields Arena, which will include a pet fest and all the festivities that come with that. 4:30 we'll have a picnic in the Yad Center parking lot, and desserts are going to be provided by Steve Ashley of Thriving Financial for Lutherans. 6 p.m. the football game then, Rovers versus Strasbourg, Zealand on Grover Field. And during that, we'll have the 2014 recipients and the homecoming corps presented during that. And finally, 9 p.m. on Friday is our school dance. For Saturday, there'll be quite a few different events going on. The Alumni Continental Breakfast, followed by the Hall of Fame Awards induction ceremony at Shields Arena. That one is open to the public at 10:30. If you know some of the members going in this year. The Alumni Lunch at noon, and the State of the School address will also be given by President Slutty at that time. And kind of the fun part of Saturday at 6 p.m. we have the variety show here at Shields Center once again, so if you can attend that. And for our students, 7:30, a bonfire going on. Sunday morning, a worship service, and the homecoming lunch followed by that. So a lot going on this week. Parents and obviously students try to be as involved as they can with that. So a lot of good stuff going on. And again, right after this in the Shields Auditorium, we'll have the reception for our ceremony today. So I guess with that, I will introduce to you your 2014 royalty. Have them stand, and I thank everybody for coming out tonight and supporting our students.